Hey everyone, I'm Jake from Jake M Media, and today we'll be reviewing the Sunpak TravelLite Pro Tripod. Again, let's get into it. Okay, so let's first start off this review with the price. The Sunpak TravelLite Pro comes in at $109.99 at Best Buy. And I say Best Buy because I know they sell them there. I'm not exactly sure if they sell them through Amazon or B&H Photo though. And with the price out of the way, let's run through the specs of this tripod. And I'll get through this pretty quickly because the specs of a tripod are kind of boring. Starting with the weight, this thing comes in at 2.75 pounds with a width of 3.5 inches, a height of 14.3 inches, and a depth of 3.5 inches as well. As for the max weight capacity, this thing can hold up to 6.6 pounds. And for reference of what 6.6 pounds of camera gear looks like, I'm able to put my Canon 6D Mark II, which is a full frame camera, along with a Sigma 70-200 f2.8 lens on top of this tripod. Moving on, we have a max extended height of 63 inches, a minimum extended height of 14.3 inches. The socket size on this thing for Allen wrenches is 1/4 inch. The material used for this tripod is aluminum. It has a rubber foot type, 5 tripod leg sections, and it does have a quick release function or plate on the head of the tripod. Now with the specs out of the way, let's jump into the pros and cons of this bad boy. So the first pro for this thing, I believe, is the price. Coming in at $109.99 is pretty decent for this kind of tripod. The aluminum doesn't feel cheap, it's actually pretty solid. The quick release plate is going to be a function that everyone loves. And just the overall build quality of this thing makes it worth the $100. Coming right after the price, the second pro on my list is that the durability of the aluminum on this thing is pretty good. Like I said, the aluminum on this thing doesn't feel cheap like some of those Amazon tripods you buy for like 20 bucks. It's really solid and it feels like it's been put together pretty well. And going off of those cheap Amazon tripods I just mentioned, I've broken I don't know how many of those over the years, and I've had this thing for around 2 or 3 years now, and it's still going strong. Up next on my pros list is the foldable size. I found that it's pretty easy to lug this thing around with me because it folds up pretty small. And normally when I bring this thing with me, I usually sling it on the back of my camera bag and I don't even notice it. But even if I don't have room for this on my camera bag, I can just carry it like this. Moving on to the next pro, we have the maximum height. This thing stands pretty tall at 63 inches, and when I put my camera on top, it's even taller than me. This makes it perfect for getting different vantage points and just offering more flexibility when it comes to taking photos or videos. And going off of the maximum height, we have the next pro on the list, which is the weight capacity. Being able to hold up 6.6 pounds at this price and size of a tripod is pretty awesome in my opinion. I just love that I have something portable that I can bring along with me, and I know it's going to be able to hold up my gear. It gives you a little bit of peace of mind. And now for my final pro on the list, the quick release plate. This thing is awesome because it obviously allows us to take our camera gear off of our tripods much faster, but I like this one a lot because it has this thing that flips up on the screw that goes into the camera, so you don't need an Allen wrench to screw it in. I don't know if this is common on quick release plates, but I still think it's something worth noting. Alright, and that's the final pro on the list. Now let's jump into the cons. Starting off with the first con on the list, the legs loosen too easily. And what I mean by that more specifically is that the Allen bolts holding the legs onto the rest of the tripod, those loosen too easily. So I'm constantly having to tighten them down, and it's really more of a nuisance than anything. And that leads me into the second con. I don't really trust the tripod head. It is a ball head, so it's made mainly for photography, but there's something about the twist lock system and the ball head combination that I don't really like. It never seems like the twist locks are locked in place all the way, and I really can't trust the ball head system. With that said, this might not be something with the tripod, this could just be something that I personally don't like. And moving on, that leads us into con number 3. The twist locks take a while to set up. I used to have tripods with the flip locks instead of the twist locks, and those take way less time to set up. So just be aware, if you're somebody that needs to move pretty quickly, like a run and gun style photographer or videographer, then the twist lock system on this tripod might not be right for you. And that gets us into con number 4. The carrying case is pretty cheap. I only had this tripod for maybe a few weeks before the carrying case that came with it started to rip. Now don't get me wrong, the carrying case isn't really essential. To be honest, I couldn't see myself using it. But the fact that it did come with this tripod and it started ripping only after 2 weeks doesn't make Sunpak look good. And now for our fifth and final con. It doesn't come with Allen wrenches to tighten down the legs. So like I said earlier, the legs of this tripod loosen really easily, and you need Allen wrenches to tighten them down. And just the fact that it only comes with one Allen wrench, I believe, means that you can't tighten any of these legs down without using another Allen wrench on the other side. So I guess that's not really a flaw with the tripod, more so they should probably toss that extra Allen wrench in the kit. Alright, that's it for pros and cons. Now let's talk about who this tripod is recommended for. Now there's a few people I would say this tripod is made for. Those being beginner photographers, traveling photographers and videographers, beginner cinematographers, YouTubers, and basically anyone on a budget. And I think it's made for each one of these people, mainly because of the size, the ease of use, and the price. Because each person on that list is probably looking for a tripod that at least meets one of these criteria. Now again, this tripod is great for beginners, traveling photographers and videographers, and creators on a budget. But there are some downsides. The legs loosen too easily, I don't trust the tripod head, the twist locks take a while to set up, and a few other things. However, with that all said, I still think it's a solid option, but do the pros outweigh the cons? That's for you to decide. Alright, if you guys want to check out the Sunpak TravelLite Pro Tripod, I'm going to link it in the description down below. Also, if you guys want to see more videos just like this one, subscribe by clicking right here. Thanks for watching, and always remember to capture great moments. Peace.